More now on President Trump's first international trip since taking office and the controversies here at home. Let's bring in Fox News Sunday anchor Chris Wallace. Chris, normally a president's first trip goes to Mexico or maybe Canada. Why Saudi Arabia and the other nations on this tour?
Well, you're exactly right about that, John, and it was a very conscious decision by this White House. And one of the things that they really want to do is to try to reach out to the Arab world, to try to unify them, and especially when it comes to the fight against ISIS and also to isolating Iran. And I think the president thought that this, because it is so unusual, would make even more of a statement about it.
There are obviously lots of domestic and, well, foreign issues bedeviling this White House right now. Can the president escape some of that by heading overseas?
Well, no, he can't escape it. I mean, it continues on. There's going to continue to be controversy. There are going to continue to be leaks. I think that the president could help himself, however, with a little bit more discipline. Here's what I mean. He could take advantage of the appointment of a special counsel if he wanted to, and as presidents in the past have, to simply say, and have his aides say, we're not going to talk about this anymore. It's under investigation. The special counsel is looking into this. We're going to focus on issues that affect people's lives in America, like health care, like tax reform, trade. But this president has not seemed capable of doing that. You know, when the announcement came of the special counsel, the president's first reaction, the written statement, was that he was looking forward to the investigation being conducted and ended quickly. But then the next morning, he put out a tweet that said that it was all a witch hunt, it was all dividing the country, and he doubled down on that throughout yesterday with a number of statements in public, basically saying the same thing, that this was dividing America and it was bad. If he's going to be asked about it on the foreign trip, presidents always are, the question is, does he respond by focusing on the trip and focusing on his agenda, or does he get drawn into more conversations about a controversy and an investigation which really distracts from what he wants to accomplish as president?
President Obama seemed very interested in improving relations with Iran. President Trump does not seem to have that interest, and this arms sale, the largest arms sale ever, assuming it goes through, to Saudi Arabia, seems to prove that point.
I will tell you that the White House feels, and from what I'm hearing, the Saudis and other Sunni Arabs feel that this is a huge change and that this president will be accepted much more favorably in the Arab world than President Obama, that for all of the comments he made about Muslims on the campaign trail, that they see him as a much better partner dealing with. Part of it is exactly what you said, that they thought, a lot of the Sunni Arabs thought that President Obama was much too interested in trying to make a deal and in trying to have a rapprochement with Iran, which is a Shiite Arab country that they don't like very much. And also they were not happy with the way he handled the Arab Spring, where he seemed to be on the side of the people in the street and not the people in the government, like Hosni Mubarak and other more authoritarian figures in other parts of the world. So I think they see this president as a welcome relief from the Obama years.
Richard Haass, the president of the Council on Foreign Relations and a former State Department official, is saying that, well, he would have advised President Trump not to take on such a big trip for his first one, that maybe taking baby steps would have been better. Your thoughts on that?
Look, you know, I don't know that that's necessarily true. I think it's not an overly ambitious. It's about a week. It's about 9 days. I will say the first part of it is the part that I find particularly interesting. The second half, he meets with NATO. He meets with the G7. I don't think you're going to see any dramatic changes there. But the first 3 stops, to go on your first 3 stops of a foreign trip as president, to Riyadh, the home of Islam, then to Jerusalem, the home of Judaism, and then to the Vatican, the home of Catholicism. Pretty interesting. And I think part of this, again, is trying to unite all the 3 great religions of the world against radical Islamic extremism, against ISIS, against violence on the international stage. is pretty dramatic. And I will tell you, they talk about it. The word that was used a lot at the White House, I was at some briefings yesterday, was historic. I think they think it is a big trip, not beyond their ability to handle, and an historic trip if they can pull it off correctly.
Chris Wallace, the anchor of Fox News Sunday. Chris, thank you.